We'll begin our program in just a moment. Good evening, everyone. My name is Amanda Brown-Sissom, and I am the Associate Vice President for Alumni Engagement and Campus Administrator for our Edinboro campus. Thank you. As such, it is my privilege to welcome you to the 2023 Edinboro Distinguished Alumni Awards on behalf of our Acting President, Dr. Lori Bernotsky, and our leadership team of Penn West. We have many special guests joining us this evening, both here in the beautiful Frank G. Pogue Student Center, but also from home through our live stream. I'd like to take a few minutes to recognize a few of them. First, to our 2023 Distinguished Alumni, welcome home. Please stand and be recognized. We're excited to celebrate with you tonight. Your accomplishments are outstanding, and it is right that we recognize you as examples of what it means to be a Fighting Scot. You are the representation of all of the hard work that occurs on this campus. You have taken the lessons taught here, the relationships with faculty, staff, and peers formed here, and your Fighting Scot spirit, and you forged a life. You are the living proof that our mission is critical. Our alumni go on to challenge their fields, their communities, and they give back to support the next generation of Fighting Scots. To your family and friends and colleagues with you as guests tonight and online with us, thank you for celebrating your loved ones with us. We're as proud to call them family as you are. Greetings to our current and past Edinboro trustees with us tonight. Mark Bellini, who you'll hear from in just a few moments, and I think Dan Hyam might be with us tonight. To our members of the Edinboro Alumni Association Board, and to Chuck Scalise, Executive Director of the Edinboro University Foundation, actually Marilyn Gellner, who is here with us as well, President, and other members of the Foundation Board, thank you for being here. We also have with us tonight our Edinboro Student Government President, Sarah Keating, and you'll hear from her tonight as well. Thank you all for your leadership. We are also thankful for the support of tonight's sponsors, the Edinboro University Foundation, the Edinboro University Alumni Association, the Pennsylvania State Employees Credit Union, or PSECU. Ben Chafee is in the room with us tonight. He's our Community Relationship Manager. Thank you for being here. And Erie Brewing Company. I'd also like to thank our Highland ambassadors, and it is not a surprise that our awardees, many of them were Highland ambassadors. They were a student government president. They were leaders before they ever left this campus, and so it's not surprising that we're recognizing them now for their continued leadership. I'd like to thank Rob Frank Media, the team from Aramark, Piper Press, and several members of the Penn West Advancement team that are here with me tonight for assisting us this evening. Our awardees got to spend some time on campus today. They visited with students and met with faculty in the halls where they once studied. Beyond the classroom, one of the best opportunities that we can provide our students is to connect them with our vast network of alumni throughout the United States and across the globe. Thank you for spending time with our students today. Thank you to the faculty who hosted them and those here tonight to celebrate them. So if you hosted them today, will you stand as well, please? Thank you. And I know we had a few others too. We had a tour of the Bruce Gallery. tour of the Beehive today, saw many of the academic buildings. Some visited the bookstore. They were at the Alumni House, and I reminded them that this is their house. So it was a great day to have them on campus with us. We even ordered Edinburgh weather for them so they could have the full experience again. Finally, I would like to welcome my fellow presenters for tonight's event. Penn West trustee Mark Bellini, retired U.S. Army Brigadier General and Edinburgh alumnus, class of 1979 from the Edinburgh State College. Dr. Aaron Lake, Penn West Director of Academic Pathways and Partnerships. Jared Schneider, Edinburgh alumnus and board member of the Edinburgh University Alumni Association. And Sarah Keating, current Penn West Edinburgh student and president of the Edinburgh Student Government Association. Thank you for all agreeing to present the awards with me this evening. So there's criteria for these awards. Each year, nominations are received from campus and our alumni network for the Distinguished Alumni Awards. The Distinguished Alumni Award recognizes graduates of Edinburgh who have distinguished themselves in their careers and through their service to the university and community. Our distinguished alumni are our best examples of the grit, passion, and determination of our students and the high-quality education received here. Nominees must be a graduate of an Edinburgh legacy institution, so that could be everything from the Teachers College to the State College to the university to now Penn West Edinburgh. They must have achieved excellence in their career and or made significant contributions to advancing their field and or community, and they must reflect a commitment to advancing the university through advocacy, promotion, volunteerism, and or financial support. Tonight, Penn West Edinburgh is proud to recognize 5 distinguished alumni nominated by their fellow alumni in the campus community. We'll also recognize the contributions of the talented alumni of the Edinburgh Art Program. The 2023 Distinguished Alumni Awards were created by 2 former Edinburgh students, Bill Campbell, class of 1974, and his former intern and trusted employee for many years, Frank Stoffen. Campbell, artist and longtime owner of Campbell Pottery, located in Cambridge Springs, PA, received a Lifetime Achievement Award at this event in the fall of 2021, the same year of his retirement. Frank Stoffen began his work as a potter in 1981 as an Edinburgh University student. Stoffen opened his studio in 1988 and continues to work there today in Venango, PA at the Potter's House. It's just down the street from the former Campbell site. We decided to use the work of both artists this year as a visual representation of the connection between Edinburgh alumni. The work of these 2 master potters appears in many ways to be an extension of one another, but they are unique. Campbell's plates feature flambeau glazes known for subtle color variations, random occurrences, and impressionistic appearance reminiscent of galaxies, frosted windows, or gemstones. Stoffen's work, inspired by the ancient Egyptians and Chinese, features a wood ash glaze, which has become his signature. Frank processes ash from the wood stove of his neighbors and friends to use in his work. His work invokes the look of trees and landscapes. Each award is a unique work of art and functional pottery. Stoffen's work is featured in over 20 galleries and can be found locally at both the Potter's House and, yes, Mercantile in Edinburgh, which actually helped us connect the 2. And then I could go back and verify that in my alumni records. Tonight's awards are located on each awardee's table as their centerpiece for this evening. We want to thank Bill and Jane of Campbell Pottery and Frank Stoffen and the team at Yes Mercantile in Edinburgh for working with us on this year's awards. Well, we have much to celebrate tonight, and we're going to get started very quickly here. My colleagues and I will take turns presenting our distinguished alumni. An abbreviated bio will be shared for each awardee, and then they will have time to accept their award from the stage. As we begin, I want to thank you for your commitment to excellence and to your alma mater. Penn West trustee Mark Bellini, will you please join me on stage to lead us in presenting the awards? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Amanda. I was excited when Amanda called me and asked me if I would do this. I feel honored and privileged to announce for the first one for 2023, the Distinguished Alumni Award is Angela M. Ambrose, class of 2002. And Amanda said that it's going to be a brief bio, and I can tell you that this is very brief for the accomplishments that this particular alumna has done in a very short time. Angela Ambrose is currently the Vice President of Government Relations and Communications for GM Defense LLC. Recognized for the second consecutive year in 2022 as one of the Hill's top lobbyists, she's responsible for executing external affairs, working with the executive and the legislative branches of government, and managing the development and implementation of strategic communications, media relations, and marketing on a global scale. Prior to joining GM in 2019, Ambrose led government relations activities for Accenture Federal Services, supporting the defense portfolio and managing all defense, intelligence, cybersecurity, and veterans affairs public policy priorities. Ambrose served as a chief congressional strategist for Northrop Grumman Aerospace Systems, or NGAS, from 2011 to 2015, analyzing congressional authorization policies, annual appropriations, and executive branch fiscal year budget requests. Prior to her time at NGAS, she served as a senior legislative liaison in the Office of the Director of National Intelligence and as the Deputy Director of Congressional Affairs for the Department of Defense Joint Improvised Explosive Device Defeat Organization, or commonly known as JIATO. During her tenure at JIATO, Ambrose received 2 Superior Civilian Service Awards, quite an accomplishment in a short amount of time. From 2002 to 2008, Ambrose served as a senior policy advisor to a member of the U.S. House of Representatives, focusing predominantly on a portfolio that included appropriations, defense, homeland security, veterans affairs, and foreign operations matters. If you look at that time period and you just look back at what was going on in the world, pretty busy place to be with a lot of responsibility, and she did it well. Ambrose also earned a Master of Arts in National Security and Strategic Studies from the United States Naval War College, a tough school, by the way, with additional studies in national security at the National Defense University. Tonight, she is being recognized for her outstanding achievements in foreign policy, legislation, and veterans affairs, and her ongoing commitment to national security. Please join me in congratulating Angela Ambrose as a 2023 Distinguished Alumna.
It wouldn't be a defense moment if I didn't say thank you, sir. Let me coin you real quick.
Military tradition.
A military tradition, yes. Well, thank you for this incredible recognition, and congratulations to my fellow 2023 nominees, awardees, I should say, now that we're here. It is humbling to return to campus as an Alumni of the Year, but truly it feels like coming home. I'm happy to learn that the warmth of the people and the dampness of the weather are exactly as I remember both, so that's great. At least there's no snow in the forecast, but just give it a minute and we'll see what turns out there. My time at Edinboro was integral in shaping the person that I was meant to be. Edinboro helped me build a stable foundation, and here I was able to try and fail. I was able to learn and achieve. I made lasting friendships one of which has nominated me for this award, so that's wonderful for me. And I joined a myriad of groups, from student government to athletic training to finding sisterhood in Zeta Tau Alpha and exploring potential career options with the Applied Communicators of Edinburgh, whether studying and attending classes or spending time in Harrisburg with the Board of Governors and overseeing the student government activities on campus, preparing for Greek Week or attending the next wrestling match as a trainer, working hours at the gym or with intramural sports. Edinburgh allowed me to be my authentic self. In any situation, on any given day, I was encouraged to be me. Administrators, professors, coaches, faculty, advisors, roommates, and friends alike helped me establish the core of who I was and supported my foundational build, finding personal growth and confidence to be my authentic self. After 4 years of comfort and support, it was hard to leave Edinburgh and maybe just a little scary. I went immediately to Washington, D.C. to try my hand at what the Beltway had to offer. You see, I lived September 11th on campus here in this exact building and believe the impact of that day began my passion for national security. Trying to figure out public transportation and the grid that makes up DC was daunting. Knowing if I should commute in comfortable shoes or my trusted heels would make me an outcast or not was something I probably spent a little too many hours on. I can tell you that cobblestones are not your friend regardless, so there you have it. Weeks in DC turned into months, and months turned into years, and I had a rhythm that made sense to me. My portfolio was clearly defined in defense, intelligence, foreign affairs, veterans affairs. Those policy issues truly became my focus, as you heard. Moving from the governor's office to the halls of Congress, from the legislative branch to the Pentagon and Joint Staff, from the Defense Department to the intelligence community, and from government as a civilian over into the private sector, whether my time at Northrop Grumman, Accenture, or now at General Motors, each transition meant advancement, and moving up sometimes meant moving on. But when you have the type of foundation that Edinburgh provides, those changes aren't intimidating, they're exciting. They're an opportunity to become more well-rounded, take on challenges, and even exceed your own expectations. I'm very fortunate to have another state system educated woman break barriers and accomplish impressive goals. My mother, who I'm lucky to have supporting me at every crossroads, serving as my ever-present sounding board and cheering me on from the wings even this evening. So thanks, Mom. Seeing her courage and ambition told me that my pathway in national security could be limitless, and I hope that I'm providing that same type of encouragement for others, whatever their individual paths may be. In my career field, I know I offer a very unique value proposition. I'm authentic in every dialogue that I have. I try to be the same person at my core, whether in a professional or personal setting. I want to have unwavering confidence in who I am. And those are the roles that I hold for myself, and they all stem from the foundation that was built here. A cultural fit is something that has to feel right to each individual. Education matters, and I knew I would never question my level of education here. And involvement and activities helps a student determine, beyond education, their interests and their values. That's a foundation, that's my foundation, the foundation that I found here at Edinburgh, and it's offered, and Edinburgh has offered to other countless students throughout the years. I'm honored to be here this evening amongst all of you. I'm humbled to be recognized truly in this way, and I will always proud to say, go Borough. Thank you so much.
You could tell she was a communications major, can't you? Thank you. Our next presenter is Jared Schneider from the Edinburgh University Alumni Association, and he's going to do the next presentation. Thank you.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Jared Schneider, proud Edinburgh alum for the Alumni Association and proud educator in Pennsylvania. Did you know that today is National Superhero Day? It's fitting because we're here to celebrate alumni that excel at their professions every day. And The recipients tonight are truly heroes in their field, in their communities, and in their families. Tonight, you all can be heroes too by helping us celebrate Penn West's very first day of giving. But I don't want to talk more, so I'll let Makedo tell you.
His name is Makedo, the leader of the Edinburgh Fighting Scots. He's the superhero of Edinburgh's biggest day this year, Giving Day. Makedo's trained more than 65,000 fighting Scots to cheer our teams to victory. He's been described as fierce, handsome, courageous, and knows how to wear a kilt. He's the warrior who perseveres and always gives back. Can Makedo rise to the challenge and lead campus to victory? One fighting Scot, 24 hours, 428 gifts. April 28th is your chance to become a superhero too. It's time to let your Tartan pride shine and help Makedo help our students.
Today, alumni, faculty, staff, community members, and students are making donations to support their Penn West campus. I'm proud to say that as an EUAA member, we voted at the last meeting to donate $10,000 to support student retention efforts at Penn West Edinburgh. We have committed another $4,000 to match anyone who does the same today. So if you take a look at the center of your guys' tables, there's a QR code there, and if you scan that with your phones, then it'll take you to a website where you guys can donate today. You can also choose to give to other academic scholarships other than the Alumni Student Retention Fund. It can go towards academic scholarships, athletics, Greek organizations, and many other causes on the campus that you care about. So please join me and the EUAA board members in making a gift today, and I appreciate you for that. And now it's time to present the next 2023 Alumni Award to Vitas Bankitis. Vitas is a distinguished professor at the E.L. Wayner Welsh Foundation Chair in Chemistry at Texas A&M College of Medicine, where his laboratory has made formative contributions in the area of lipid metabolism and signaling, neural stem cells, chemical biology, and drug discovery, among others. A renowned researcher and widely cited scholarly author, Dr. Bankitis was ranked among the top 2% of scientists worldwide in a 2021 list compiled by Stanford University. His recent collaborative study on neocortex development uncovered breakthrough insight into the underlying causes of intellectual disabilities, including autism spectrum disorders. Called a tour de force in the field of lipid biology, he was presented the 2019 Avanti Award in Lipids by the American Society of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology for his work on elucidating the role of lipid transfer in incityl phospholipid exchange proteins in cell biology. He later visited Edinburgh to share his experiences and discuss his current research on the biochemistry of autism. Bankitis, an 8-time All-American swimmer and a recipient of the NCAA Postgraduate Scholarship, was named to the Edinburgh Athletic Hall of Fame in '91, and he is a member of the all-time men's swimming team. He earned a Master's of Science in Biology at Clemson University, a Doctorate in Philosophy and Microbiology from the University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill, where he returned as a professor and chair the Department of in Cell and Developmental Biology from 2001 to 2011. And he was a Helen Hay Whitney postdoctoral fellow at California Institute of Technology. Bankitis is being recognized for his profound influence on the study of lipid signaling and his steadfast commitment to mentorship and interprofessional education. Please join me in congratulating Vitas Bankitis, 2023 Distinguished Alumni.
So 49 years ago, almost to the day, my father and I drove up from Cleveland, Ohio to visit Edinburgh for the first time. And it was for a swimming recruitment trip. And I won't talk about that, but I will talk about the people I met who convinced me to come here. And these are faculty. So the two faculty that I met on this trip were James Lopresto, who was a professor of physics and astronomy, and Frank Bayless, who at the time was the chair or the head of the Department of Biology. They spent most of the day with me, and Frank Bayless basically said, you know, you come here, we will educate you, and you will, in fact, do very well. I promise. So that sold me, and it sold my father. I just turned down an appointment at West Point, so things were pretty raw between him and me at the time. I came in 1974, and in 1975, Frank Bayless left to go to the San Francisco State University, where he finished a distinguished career. But there were a number of faculty who stepped in who basically made his promise to me come true. I'd like to name them. John Paxson, plant biologist. He looked after me for 4 years. Ralph Carl, what can I say? This guy was a drill sergeant. I took microbiology because I couldn't actually take the time to read what the requirements for graduation were. I thought it was actually a required course. It was not. It was an elective, and I wouldn't have taken it another way, and the way he taught it just changed my life. It actually made me very interested in bacteria, which led to the next chapter, where Ellis Klein, a new faculty member who was actually doing research, basically took me under his wing and allowed me to do research that was outside the classroom. I can tell you that the basement of Cooper Hall at 3 a.m. is a pretty creepy place. But I spent a lot of time there doing the experiments. And I was surrounded by 3 outstanding colleagues, friends of mine, Marty Oakes, Bill Jacobs, and David Montefiore, who have all gone on to distinguished careers in science, and we were a very special, it was just a special, special time. It was the dawn of the era of molecular biology, actually. That's what we were introduced to, and I knew then that pre-med was out the window, and this is what I wanted to do. The last 2 faculty I'd like to mention are chemistry faculty. Jerry Mesmer, who was a drill sergeant also, and Ken Craig, who was more of a hippie type. The first day in class, Jerry Mesmer told me, athletes get no breaks. I'm never giving you a break. And he never did. And he pushed me very, very hard. And he came to my Hall of Fame introduction in 1991. I was very touched by that. Ken Craig. This guy was easy to talk to, long hair. You could get a 0 on his exam because every answer depended on the correctness of the answer before, and lots of people got 0s. But he was actually intellectually very curious, and he also decided that he was going to do something other than chemistry and do research. And I spent a lot of time next to him doing research, and I learned, really how a seasoned person thinks. And this actually developed all the skills that I needed in terms of how you identify, break down, and solve problems. And this is something I'm still developing today, but the fact is it gave me the skills necessary to succeed. So in closing, I'm very humbled to receive this award. I want to honor the faculty who actually made it possible. I actually want to congratulate all my fellow awardees for their distinguished accomplishments, and also for the faculty who, upon my return have made it possible to engage with the Edinburgh students after all this time. 49 years ago, I entered into what was fundamentally a transactional relationship between myself and the university. The university said, represent us in the athletic field, and we will give you the opportunity to succeed in other ways. Job well done. Thank you.
Okay, and I'll turn this over to Sarah Keating, the SGA president.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. My name is Sarah Keating, and I'm a senior pursuing a degree in business administration with a concentration in financial planning at Penn West Edinburgh. I'm proud to serve, thank you. I am proud to serve as the current Student Government Association president for the Edinburgh campus, and I'm honored to be here among so many distinguished alumni. Tonight, I have the pleasure of introducing 2023 Distinguished Alumna Nashonda Bender-Cook. Nashonda Bender-Cook is an 8th-generation educator, teacher advocate, and consultant committed to recruiting and retaining highly qualified K-12 teachers, building a pipeline for educators of color, and providing equal learning opportunities to all students. She spent 20 years as a special education and general education teacher in North Carolina's public schools and is now a clinical supervisor at Western Governors University, where she coordinates student field experiences and serves as a mentor to future educators. Throughout her career, Bender-Cook has facilitated initiatives and led workshops focused on empowering young women, addressing the academic, behavioral, and social needs of students, and closing the achievement gap for African American boys. Bender-Cook has held leadership roles within the National Education Association and the North Carolina Association of Educators National Board Certified Teachers Caucus. In 2017, she was appointed by North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper as a member of the Governor's Teacher Advisory Committee to provide counsel on a range of educational issues impacting teachers and students. Bender-Cook was featured on the cover of Time magazine, and her accolades include being named a 2-time Teacher of the Year, the Allie C. Black Educator of the Year, a Woman of the Year semifinalist, and a recipient of the K. Troll Outstanding Educator Award. She holds a Master of Education in Special Education from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Bender-Cook is being recognized for her contributions to the field of education and dedication to student success through diversification of the education workforce. Please join me in honoring our 2023 Distinguished Alumna, Nashonda Bender-Cook.
Such a wonderful moment. Good evening, everyone. I can do this. You would think after 23 years in front of kids. And this I say for your own profit, not that I may put a leash on you, but for what is proper, and that you may serve the Lord without distraction. 1 Corinthians 7:35. I believe that that's what I've been trying to do. I thank God for this moment of acknowledgement. I also would like to thank some very special people in my life that without them I would not be here. My daughters are here with me. There. Victoria is a freshman at NC State University on a full ride and an outstanding volleyball player. Navia is here, who is my guide to being a special educator. She has kicked the butt of autism and lets you know how she feels, and I feel like I wish I could do that sometimes, but she's my girl. My siblings, who are all over the place, Dallas and North Carolina and California, I wish they were here with me, but they're off making my mom proud as well. My coworkers back home, Millbrook High School is where I currently work. Go Wolfpack, NC State, and Wildcats. My students, they asked me to say all of their names. We're not going to do that, but hi guys, I'll be back. Do your homework. Connections I've met in the field of education for the past 23 years have also helped me become who I am. As I said, I thank God for this moment. I've always, and I always will, serve him earnestly. I do this through prayer, giving, my faith, my role, and my calling. I can do this, and I can do this with pride because of a very special person. My parents are here with me as well. Reverend Amos Jr. Goodwine, my dad. My mother is the best. My mom is, she's the best. So teaching is my calling, and it's an honored ministry. And in my ministry, I've educated elementary, middle, and high school students, some with official diagnosis and some without, and we didn't need the paperwork, we knew. I serve as an advocate for my career in various calibers with Governor Roy Cooper still, with the Youth Mentor Collaborative, but all of that is after about a 6.5, 7, 8, 9, 10-hour day in the classroom. It all started right here at Edinboro. It started when I walked into my first work-study job, and I met the phenomenal Pastor Melissa Burnett, who took me under her wing, tucked me in tight, fed me her famous meatloaf from time to time, and she kept me there, and she kept me safe. It started off my first day in class with Dr. Mary Jo Campbell, who's here. She told me, you will be exactly what your students need. And I feel like I've lived up to that. I hope I made you proud. Also in the classes with the late Dr. Ruth Nash Thomas. I talked to some students today and I said, who was your most challenging professor here at Edinboro? And I can tell you who mine was. And Dr. Nash Thompson stayed on me. And I am who I am and able to deal with challenging students because she showed me how to do that. And there were many others, because I feel like Edinboro focused on diversity before it became something that was a fad, something that other schools thought about. Edinboro made sure it was happening then. Before all of those mentors I just mentioned entered my life, Dr. Armandia Dixon exemplified how to use my voice in high school. I gotta tell you guys, when she came to our school, we did not want her to leave. She served as an intern, and we found out that the principal was coming back. We went to the school board. We did everything we could to keep her there. She was that wonderful to each and every one of us. As I said, I've had several mentors, but my mother, she just has no idea. This moment is a gift from her. This moment is a gift for her. She never let any obstacle that we were told we had be strong enough to stop us from continuing our family legacy. She never allowed us to be okay with being labeled anyway or accept the term average. You could not walk in my mom's house with a C. It wasn't happening. So thank you, Mommy, for making sure that I made sure that I'm not average and that my students never felt average. My family also supports Edinboro University in several ways. We have 3 scholarships here. We have the Willie Mae Goodwine Scholarship, we have the Inez J. Baskin Scholarship, and the Mina George Scholarship. So Edinboro is part of our lives. I have so many wonderful memories from the borough. It's hard really to pick one. From working in President Pogue's office, working in the Alumni House, from working with Reverend Kahan Sablo, all of those are at the top of my list. A Highland Ambassador is one of my favorite things. I even brought my shirt back to show me. I was a Highland Ambassador, I was. I can't fit this shirt anymore, but I was. So I gained knowledge from everything I did at Edinboro. And my advice to current and future students is to take every moment, take in everything, learn every day, because you never really win or lose. You never really fail, you learn. When I talked to my students and I told them that I would be here, I said, describe what it is that I do that you like. And they gave me a lot of good things to do and some things that I could improve on, and I let that slide. They seemed to have a theme, and it was just accept me for who I am, and that's what I try and do. I provided what they needed to feel safe and grow because I got that at Edinboro. Edinboro brought the best out of me, but met me where I was and honored where I came from. So I'm so honored in this moment. So I want to thank the Alumni Association for this incredible honor. I want to say congratulations to my fellow honorees at this moment, and for the rest of my life, I will be humbled and grateful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nashonda. Us Edinboro students are extremely lucky to have great educators, and students all over the world are lucky to have educators like you. And speaking of education advocacy, I recently had the opportunity to meet with my fellow PASHE student government leaders at Penn West, California. Similar to Ms. Bender-Cook, I too was inspired to join the movement to better support public education, but with a focus on the higher education in the state of Pennsylvania. Fund Pennsylvania's Future is a campaign which calls for state investment to provide PASHE with inflationary funding to keep tuition affordable for students, and a targeted investment initiative to educate students for careers in high-growth jobs and occupations. The overall goal of this program is to strengthen Pennsylvania's workforce and economy. In collaboration with the university leadership, faculty, staff, trustees, and alumni, students are promoting the power and promise of PASHE and highlighting how PASHE can positively contribute more graduates and close Pennsylvania's talent gap. As a Penn West, Edinboro, and PASHE student, I believe it's important to teach students how to advocate for themselves and future PASHE students to continue the legacy of PASHE and Edinboro. These institutions have built foundations for these distinguished alumni and will continue to build distinguished alumni for generations to come. Thank you all for your support. And to provide more support, I encourage you to visit the PASHE Online Advocacy Center at pashe.edu/fundpashe4PA for ways to learn about ways to join this movement. Thank you so much. At this time, I would like to invite Dr. Erin Lake to the stage to present the next awardee.
Good evening. I have the honor of introducing Emily Morris. Emily F. Morris, 1988 and 1990. Speech Communication and Rhetoric, Communication and Media Studies. Emily Morris, PhD, is Senior Vice President and Chief Brand Officer at Chautauqua Institution, a 750-acre community dedicated to promoting creativity and exploring current religious, social, and political issues. Dr. Morris provides strategic leadership to the Division of Marketing, Communications, and Enterprise, and oversees communication, marketing, media relations, brand strategy, analytics, guest experience, and sales. What? In addition, she operates the Athenaeum Hotel Company, or Athenaeum, is that correct? Athenaeum. Chautauqua Bookstore, Plaza Market, Chautauqua Cinema, and Chautauqua Travels. She led the launch of Chautauqua Magazine and CHQ Assembly, Chautauqua Institution's digital streaming channel, and supported promotions resulting in the institution being named America's Best Small-Town Cultural Scene by USA Today in 2020. Emily began her professional career in broadcast journalism at WJET-TV in Erie. She worked as a media technician and adjunct professor at Edinburgh. In May 1995, she became executive to the president for University Communications and Administrative Initiatives at Edinburgh, where she also participated in strategic planning initiatives. She acted as university spokesperson, co-advised the Highland ambassadors, and led internal communications, public relations, crisis planning, among many other responsibilities. She later served as vice president for university relations at St. Bonaventure University and executive communications director at Kent State University. Emily holds a PhD in higher education from the State University of New York at Buffalo and serves on Edinburgh's Communication and Journalism Alumni Advisory Boards. Emily is being recognized for her expertise in the communications and higher education fields and her lasting impact on the mission of Penn West Edinburgh. Please join me in congratulating 2023 Distinguished Alumna, Dr. Emily Morris.
Thank you, Erin. It's so nice to be back here. Edinburgh feels more like home than almost any home I've ever lived in. And I want to thank those who made it possible for me to be honored tonight. Your nomination means so much to me. Thank you. Those same people supported me during my academic and my professional careers here at Edinburgh. And just as Edinburgh feels like home, these people are my family. And I couldn't be more grateful for your blessing. Thank you. I also wish to thank my real family who is here and my friends who traveled ridiculous distances and jumped through hoops to be here tonight. Ironically, the person who drummed up all of this support for me is not here, but I think he's watching online. To my husband, Edwin, thank you. I love you. We wish you were here. I was touched nearly to the point of tears a few years ago when Edinburgh released its "For Those Who Strive" tagline. As a marketing and communications professional, I search the world almost daily for inspiration, and I was inspired by how right the team who created that tagline got it. Edinburgh helps people who are willing to work hard to discover and reach their full potential. It is for people who are just as capable or even more than others in their peer groups. But if they were like me, they may have needed to put a little more muscle into their academic life, or maybe they needed a little special attention to find their true passion and purpose, their vocation. I don't know about you, but I think that that's a mission to be proud of. That's a mission that can drive engagement from alumni and foundations, and God willing, the state legislature. If I have one wish for my alma mater, it is that you never give up on those who strive. They will double your investments every time. And that goes for the staff and faculty of this place as well. They also strive. They care, they give more, they do more, and they create greater outcomes. And they also double those investments. Can we give them a round of applause as well? Thank you to those who never gave up on me. The list is too long. I was here for 18 years as an employee and for 4 years before that as a student.
but thanks for not giving up on me, especially those who gave me a nudge and sometimes a little more than that when I needed it. I do continue to strive, and I'm grateful to Edinboro for teaching me that that was an honorable thing to do. Thank you very much.
I believe we go to Amanda now. All right, thank you.
I have the honor of introducing our last 2023 distinguished alumnus for this evening. This last alumnus, is a privilege to introduce. This was, when we got the nominations in this year, we always look at, the complements of stories too, and are we representing all the great things that we do here? And how do we tell the national story, but how do we tell the local story too? And so it is my privilege to present tonight Mark E. Roach, class of 75's bio to you. He is making a difference right in our own backyard, and so we wanted to focus on that tonight with you. Mark E. Roach, class of 75, was an art major. He is currently the mayor of Cochranton, PA, and the owner of Roach Graphic Arts, a studio that creates hand-painted and vinyl signage, logo designs, and apparel. Beyond the duties of his elected office, Roach is director and co-founder of Cochranton Area Redevelopment Effort, or CARE, a nonprofit organization created in 2011 to foster community redevelopment and growth. Considered the town's leading historian, Roach founded the Cochranton Heritage Society in 1981 and maintains the Cochranton Railroad Museum. He has been the secretary, treasurer, and sexton for the Cochranton Cemetery Association since 1999 and is involved with Cochranton's Greenway Trail. An accomplished scholar athlete at Edinboro in cross country, track and field, and basketball, Roach has successfully coached cross country and basketball teams at Cochranton Junior and Senior High School for 4 decades. Coach Watts is in the room tonight, and he wanted me to add that Mark was an NCAA All-American in the 1-mile run in 1975, and in his final year of eligibility in 75 and 76 with track, or 75 with cross country and 76 with track. But he was very limited after an accident with his summer job, which was painting a glass greenhouse, and he suffered his Achilles tendon, or he would have gone even further. So he wanted to make sure you knew. He was a member of the Borough of Cochranton Council from 2009 to 2013, an emergency medical technician and assistant chief of Cochranton Fire Department and Ambulance Services from 1975 to 1985, and he previously served as the president of the Cochranton Community Fair and chairman of Cochranton's annual 4th of July celebrations. What has he not done to move Cochranton forward and to make it a place where people want to live and enjoy their families in that kind of environment? From safety to community and cultural celebrations, to their history, to leadership. Named a 2022 Difference Maker of the Year by readers of the Meadville Tribune, Roach is being recognized for his continued public service and significant impact on the community and the region. Please join me in recognizing 2023 Distinguished Alumnus, Mark Roach.
Wow, huh. I had to get, that's the most rest I've got. First, let me take this opportunity to congratulate the other recipients. It's an honor to share the event with you this evening, and it's been an honor to meet you and spend some time with you. It's moments like this that make you realize how fortunate you have to be surrounded and embraced by caring friends. I'm a bit embarrassed standing here before you and taking credit for all those achievements. Truth be told, it was a combination of many individuals working together which led to those successes. I've always been amazed by what can be achieved when nobody really cares who gets the credit. So I need to share this moment with the scores of individuals that have trusted and supported me over the years. First off, I need to extend my sincere thanks to Mel Daney, who saw fit to nominate me for this award. Now, Coach Daney and I spent over 20 years working together, coaching the varsity boys basketball program at Cochraton High School. That's lots of time in the gym, that's lots of bus rides, that's a lot of confusing evenings when the kids didn't play well. But through all that, I am thankful for the lasting friendship that we have extended over the long years, and we still stay in touch, and we still reflect back on those days from our years together in the gym. To the community of Cochraton, I'm appreciative of the trust and respect that you have given me in allowing me to represent you. Having been born there and lived my entire life, with the exception of the 4 or 5 years I was here at Edinboro, it was impossible to reflect on the impact the community has had on my life. And this is just one way of my giving back to them. A major influence in my life was my time here at Edinboro. The faculty provided me with the skills to pursue my vocation, art, enabling me to spend a lifetime doing what I love to do. But I had no idea how my life would be greatly changed when I walked into the office of the track and cross country coach, Doug Watts. His coaching extended far beyond the fundamentals of the sport. They evolved into life lessons that have guided my professional life ever since. His guidance, always tempered with a bit of humor, allowed me to achieve far beyond my potential. I am proud to be part of the Edinboro distance running legacy, the Fighting Scots, the distance Scots. I truly revere his advice and friendship that has persisted over the course of my life, but don't tell him I said that. My Edinboro experience included being part of many successful teams, filled with teammates that have become lifelong friends, none closer than Dave Antonelli. Dave is, in my estimation, the greatest distance runner this university has ever conceived. He is a trusted friend and a valued friend. His counsel has impacted my coaching, and his work ethic and his dedication have been an inspiration. I have adopted the philosophy believing nothing is impossible if you have the courage to pursue your dreams. I am thankful having Dave as a trusted friend for over 50 years. In closing, the true unsung heroes this evening are my wife Pam and my daughter Erin. It is their, thank you. If the truth is to be told, it's their untold sacrifices that make it possible for me to do all the things that you heard about. And it's all those things that I managed to get myself involved in. They're there backing me up. It even gets worse. I entangle them in most of the schemes that I get. So it becomes a family affair. In doing that, I often use the word I, but I need to change that because I need to remember to use the pronoun we, because it is us that get it done. And sometimes they have to remind me of that. I extend a sincere thank you to the university. You have provided the Roach family with an evening that we shall never forget. Thank you for this award.
Wow. We are always impressed with the stories that are told on this evening. They reinforce the mission here, the work that we do, who we serve best, and what they go on to do. Please join me in one final round of applause for all of our 2023 Edinboro Distinguished Alumni. Thank you for being great representatives of the power of an Edinboro education, and thank you for your commitment to your alma mater. I would like to thank all my fellow presenters once again tonight, and thank you to our sponsors, the Edinboro University Foundation, Edinboro University Alumni Association, Erie Brewing, PSCCU, and partners Rob Frank Media, Aramark, and Piper Press. Thank you to our 2023 artists, Bill Campbell and Frank Stoffen, and our friends at Yaz Mercantile. Thank you to Brian Crable. He's our, will you stand please, Brian? Brian is he's not only a professor in the sciences, but he's also the new director of our pipe and drum course, so thank you. We can't do these celebrations without a bagpiper. There's rules. And I could not do this without my team, so would my team please stand? And that includes also Kristen Brockett from our Marketing and Comms Department, part of our advancement team as well. I want to thank our Highland ambassadors. They always do a great job. They're always a sign of a good event, right, when they're in charge. We're thankful that you volunteered tonight, and events like this are truly a team effort. It takes a village, so thank you all. I would also ask that our awardees and presenters stay for any other group photos that we might like, just for a few minutes. We will help you to pack up your awards as well so they return with you safely. And finally, I want to thank you, our audience, for celebrating with us this evening. I hope you've had an enjoyable evening. Stay safe, have a lovely night, and go Borough.